program is brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. IG, where traders are made.
And our stock of the day is Incitec Pivot, the manufacturer of chemicals, explosives and fertilisers. Now, it ceased negotiations with Indonesia's PKT for the sale of its fertilisers business. The company is saying it will continue to manage its premium explosives business, Dyno Nobel, and its soil health services, IPF, separately. And the company said it will still execute its $900 million stock buyback. Incitec Pivot Chief Executive Murray Neves saying, "We will continue to assess options for the structural separation of the two businesses. However, in the near term, our focus will be on progressing the on-market buyback program for the benefit of our shareholders." So let's see what our experts think, particularly given that potential setback there as far as the sale of its fertilisers business is concerned. David, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, a little bit concerning about the fact that the sale isn't going ahead, or isn't going ahead to its current suitor. The sale of the fertiliser business was seen as a positive for Incitec Pivot. Predominantly, the capital from that would have come back to shareholders potentially as capital returns. The overall main part of the business is the explosives side. The fertiliser business only accounts for about 7% of the business. So, it was seen as a positive that they were selling it. Now, probably a bit of a negative, and we have seen the share price down a little bit today. Medium and longer term, though, we do like Incitec Pivot and think there is value in the stock, currently trading at about $2.85. We've got a target price of $3.20 on it, so we've got an accumulate recommendation. But as I said, a little bit disappointed by the fact that sale of the fertiliser business isn't going ahead at this point. Hope that they will end up with another suitor that will actually buy that business and they can concentrate on their core explosives business.
Okay, so that's a buy or an accumulate then from you, Andrew?
Look, I'm sorry, we're not going to start off on a double buy. It won't be a barbell. It won't be a buy or a sell. It's going to be a hold. A few reasons. Obviously, 12 months to sort of get to this non-event is a bit disappointing. And certainly for the new CEO, as I've been reading it, he'd really been sort of hoping, without trying to burgle him, I'm happy to be proven wrong, but as I understand it, really hoping to sort of decouple the businesses and focus on that sort of explosives business. So even though the businesses are going to be run separately, they're still under sort of the same roof, so to speak. So that's disappointing. From a market positive point of view, $900 million on-market buyback sort of being flagged. But then equally so, I think to myself, plus the dividends, they've returned about, well, according to their May update to the market, they've returned about, or will be returning up to 26% of capital to shareholders. If I'm a shareholder, I mean, what's the share market about? The share market's about, giving money to people to run good businesses. And if they're just returning it to you, I mean, I might as well just keep it in the bank. I can sort of do that myself. I'm actually giving you the money to help drive return on equity, which I might add in this particular case is only 5%, which is probably a little bit underwhelming. And further into the underwhelming space, we're trading on a P at around 14 times, but forecast earnings per share growth of only around 5%. So I can think of lots of reasons not to be buying, but certainly from the valuation point of view, to David's point, it's not a sell, but it's pretty hard to get excited. So it's a hold.
There you go, our stock of the day, Incitec Pivot. On that setback where it hasn't managed to sell its fertiliser business, it is a hold from Andrew. Less enthusiastic than David, where Ordminute have an accumulate on the stock.
This program was brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended hours on key US shares and competitive spreads. All on an award-winning platform. IG, where traders are made.